Hi, this is Dr. Dorenzo. I'd like to welcome you back to the Marriage and Relationship Tune-Up. This is section 4, our last section. And we're going to talk about money and marriage and money and relationships. And I got to tell you that in therapy, the finances is huge. Even in people's personal lives that come to therapy, if we think about this, there are two big reasons that people seek out professional help, and it's usually one of two things: love and work, or romances and finances. So, really, two sayings that describe the same thing. So, believe it or not, money is big issue when it comes to relationships because of all the. It's certainly not unloaded. People put a lot of different meaning behind money, and based on their own history and based on their expectations. So that's why we're going to spend a whole section talking about it, and this is actually our final section of this marriage and relationship tune-up course. So money is not directly the cause of much strife in relationships, but more so the lack of it, as well as overspending, are some of the issues according to the research. So it's imperative that each partner understands how they themselves view money, as well as how their partner views money. When each partner has a different relationship with money, trouble often ensues. Time and time again, I see individuals in therapy who do not appreciate their partner's value of money. Often one person is a saver and the other is a spender. Or one really expects to be taken care of, and one really doesn't want to be taken care of and feels guilty when the other person is providing for them. So it really depends on expectations and a lot of childhood and developmental experiences around money in terms of how people are in a relationship. So the best way for couples to handle the money issue is first for each person to talk about their view of money, and then to create a budget. And it's so simple, and every finance manager or every financial planner, any money manager that's talking to a married couple will ask, have you talked about money? Do you have a budget? And most people will say no. It's just not something that they want to talk about. And it's so simple to do. So if you're taking this course, I really want you to follow the instructions of creating a budget with your spouse. Or if you're doing it alone, then create it on your own. You got to have an idea and a fair expectation of what you're going to save and what you're going to spend. So in order to minimize financial conflicts about money, partners should never, ever keep financial secrets from the other. Happens all the time, even when people have been married for 20 years, and it's highly destructive. So a relationship should be built upon trust and openness, and this includes how we involve our partners with our finances. It's imperative that couples learn to live and spend within their means. You know you're living below or within your means if you are able to save a little and still have money left over at the end of each month. Okay, live below your means together. So, exercise 4, okay, for section 4. You're going to take 30 minutes and you're going to read the following excerpt from this Money Magazine article that I think is great. And you're going to discuss the points. So I want you to independently develop a monthly budget to communicate your perspective and expectations to the other. So you're each going to create your own budget of what you think should be spent and should be saved. And then, once done, you're going to compare each other's monthly budgets and develop a monthly budget together that you can agree upon. And again, this is not to fight. Okay, you're supposed to have fun with this. And it's a learning tool to get to know the other, so you can improve any stress related to money on your relationship. So let's try and have fun with it. So let's look at this article. Let's look at this excerpt from this article. So 10 steps to making a financial budget. So again, from moneymagazine.com. So let's learn how to budget by following these 10 steps on how to bring your spending under control. So the first one, budgets are a necessary evil. They are the only practical way to get a grip on your spending and to make sure your money is being used the way you want it to be used. Number 2, creating a budget generally requires 3 steps. Identify how you're spending money now. Evaluate your current spending and set goals that take into account your long-term financial objectives. And track your spending to make sure it stays within those guidelines. So you want to monitor. Number 3, use software to save grief. If you use a personal finance program such as Quicken, the built-in budget making tools can create your budget for you. I highly recommend using a budgeting tool like this one. Number 4, don't drive yourself nuts. One drawback of monitoring your spending by computer is that it encourages overzealous attention to detail. Once you determine which categories of spending can and should be cut or expanded, concentrate on those categories and worry less about other aspects of your spending. Having software and being able to monitor your budget does not give you the right to harass your partner by posting and sending them messages about the budget, like about sending constant reminders to them to manipulate or control them. Okay, it's for both of you to work together on as a team. Watch out for cash leakage. If withdrawals from the ATM machine evaporate from your pocket without apparent explanation, it's time to keep better records. In general, if you find yourself returning to the ATM more than once a week or so, you need to examine where that cash is going. Number 6, spending beyond your limits is dangerous, but if you do, you've got plenty of company. Government figures show that many households with total income of $50,000 or less are spending more than they bring in. This doesn't make you an automatic candidate for bankruptcy, but it's definitely a sign you need to make some serious spending cuts. Beware of luxury dressed up as necessities. If your income doesn't cover your costs, some of your spending is probably for luxuries, even if you've been considering them to be filling a real need. Okay? Be careful about the luxuries. Tithe yourself, right? Pay yourself first. Aim to spend no more than 90% of your income. That way you'll have the other 10% left to save for your big picture items. Right? So for the future items and for some of those luxuries, we all need something if we can afford it, if it's still below our means. Don't count on windfalls. When projecting the amount of money you can live on, don't include dollars that you can't be sure you'll receive, such as year-end bonuses, tax refunds, or investment gains. And I hear it all the time. Oh, well, I'm probably going to get a bonus, or I'm going to get that inheritance. You can't count on that. You can't spend like you count on that. But you both have to agree to that. It's really important that you both have that same philosophy, or you're going to run into trouble. And then 10, beware of spending creep. As your annual income climbs from raises, promotions, and smart investing, don't start spending for luxuries until you're sure that you are staying ahead of inflation. It's better to use those income increases as an excuse to save more. So be careful. Just because you keep making more money, you don't have to increase your lifestyle at the same rate. All right, so that concludes your tune-up. Want to thank you very much for taking our course. I really hope you enjoyed it. I just want to review quickly as part of the summary section here that the initial part of the course we learned about Gottman and the Sound Relationship House and the steps that we need to take in order to have that sound relationship house, where the bottom was really friendship and thinking your partner was amazing, moving toward the other conflict resolution, and then having similar similar goal and mission, as well as living for our partner and helping them reach their personal goals. And then we learned about Harley's emotional needs. And then after that, we learned about the Keirsey profiles and what our partner's profile was, as well as what our own was, and what the interaction was like based on those profiles. And then section 4 was about money management. And then we'll conclude here. So if you need any assistance or have any questions, you're certainly welcome to contact our office in Jacksonville, Florida. We do specialize in a lot of marital work. We do seminars and intensive therapy sessions with patients that need help, meaning we will have extended hours for them, weekend hours if necessary, if they need to be extended. And we help couples deal with affairs and blended family issues, midlife crises, and just generally, issues related to falling out of love or having conflict about certain in-laws and what have you. So you can find us on the web again at www.drdorenzo.com, or certainly call our number in Jacksonville at 904-379-8094. Thank you so much for spending time with us, and we do hope you learned a lot taking our course. Thanks.